The most versatile condiment in the world just got more versatile. I'm talking mayo, renowned and loved, spread on sandwiches, my favorite side, macaroni salad, or honestly, you can just dip it. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, I find out that you can use mayo to sear a steak. Now, before I get a little bit ahead of myself, let's actually dive into why this works. Just gonna kind of let him do his thing. So mayo is a simple emulsion of egg yolk, oil, come on, and a liquid like water or lemon, which you should definitely try if you never have before, because it's pretty easy. So from what I could find, there's two main benefits that mayo has for searing compared to plain oil. First, since an emulsion is kind of like a peace treaty between water and fat, it actually wants to stick to our food. You know, when you compare this with plain oil, which isn't really gonna mix with our, raw steak. Second is that mayo can brown food both thermally and chemically, whereas oil can only do so thermally. And the reason is because mayo has proteins and sugars in it, which are needed for the Maillard reaction, so it can brown on its own with a much higher smoke point than something like butter. This is also why you can make a really nice grilled cheese by spreading mayo on your bread instead of butter. I mean, would you just look at this browning? So now that we know why it works, I think it's time to make this steak. For me, I'm a sucker for sous vide steak. It makes it simple and consistent every single time. Basically makes being a good cook a hell of a lot easier. All I'm gonna do is season up this filet with salt, pepper, and some garlic. You could use other aromatics if you wanted to though. Then I'm just gonna toss it in the bag. We'll put it in that 129-degree water and it'll be perfect medium rare every single time.
I got a smile taking over my face, feeling the sunshine all over the place. If it's for real, you gon' feel it in your soul. If it's for real, you gon' feel it in your bones. Clapping my hands when I walk down the street. I got a rhythm, got a skip in my feet. If it's for real, you gon' feel it in your soul. If it's for real, you gon' feel it in your bones.
Sorry to interrupt the show. I just realized I forgot to record when I was dabbing off the moisture from the steak with paper towel. So make sure you do that after it comes out of the sous vide bag, because basically moisture is the kryptonite of good sear. But anyway, there's a couple more things we gotta do before we sear this steak. Back to the show. Now before we put that mayo on, I want you to get a cast iron on the highest heat it can go until it starts smoking. And I'm serious, you can go ahead and get a chair in place right now. Much easier access once that fire alarm inevitably goes off. Now you're just gonna wanna get a nice thin layer of mayo all over your steak. Something like that looks good, so let's go sear this thing. So I wasn't kidding about getting this thing ripping hot. And what we're gonna do is just do it for about 20 to 30 seconds on each side, and then I'll flip the steak and do it on the sides as well. Make sure we're not moving it too much so we can let that crust develop. You guys ready to sear this thing? And just like that, we have a mayonnaise seared steak. And I am just in genuine awe right now with how easy that was. Probably the easiest experience I've ever had searing a steak. Nice sear on the outside, perfectly medium rare on the inside. I mean, and for those of you wondering, this doesn't taste like mayo at all. I would have zero idea that there was mayo applied to this steak before searing. So even if you don't like mayo, give the method a shot. It's really awesome. But I'll have the full recipe up on my website. If you guys want to check that, it'll be linked down below. But that's gonna wrap it up for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know down in the comments if you're gonna try the mayo seared steak. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.